Carolee here from Moonbaby Marsupials, and I'm going to talk about the importance of neutering your male sugar gliders. I was at Repticon once, and I thought I heard a breeder telling customers very wrong information, and sure enough, some of their customers had reached out to me soon after and needed my help with several things that they were misinformed with. One of the things that they were told that seemed correct was that there is not a hurry to get males neutered because gliders only have one joey a year. This is so wrong on so many levels. My lineaged breeding gliders usually have twins, and it's typically every 3 to 4 months. If you're not trained to read the family history of your gliders, there is very likely a chance they're inbreeding. I've heard so many people say things like, well, I only want to have one set of joeys because they're cute, and I know they're not related because they come from different breeders. I don't care if mom was from Georgia and dad was from Texas. That does not mean that grandma and grandpa were not both from Ohio. Glider breeders transport all over the place. Gliders do not know better, so we as humans need to. We are smarter than this. Gliders will get it on with whoever is in the cage with them.
I'll fuck anything that moves.
They multiply like wet gremlins, and your 2 cute pets are soon raising hell in your home, and you can't keep up with them all. The more boys that arrive, the more you will need to get neutered to stop the whole mess. So you may as well just pay for the one neuter in the beginning like a responsible pet owner in the first place. You'll save yourself money and nuisance. You'll save gliders from sick offspring. If the breeder does not stress this to you, then they are not a good breeder. Good breeders are very aware of the need to get the males neutered and female joeys in a separate cage. I know this firsthand. Let's do some quick hypothetical math now just to show you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and they all play games.
Say you start with 2 gliders. 1 boy, 1 girl. And the boy is not neutered, so the girl has joeys. Also, 1 boy, 1 girl. Now you have 4 gliders. 2 boys and 2 girls. Now, both of those girls are going to be having joeys. And if they each have 1 boy and 1 girl, now you get 8 gliders, 4 of which are girls. And if each of those girls have 2 joeys, 1 boy, 1 girl each. Oh look, now you have 16 gliders, 8 of which are girls. And if all 8 girls have 2 joeys, 1 boy, 1 girl, so on and so forth. Your 2 adorable pets, after only 1 year, became 16 out of control, still becoming out of control. Now, I'm going with 1 boy, 1 girl, just to play it in the middle. It could be 2 girls each time. It could be 2 boys each time. Each time it could be different. Every time you have a girl, you're 1 more girl that's going to be having 2 joeys each every few months. Every time you have a boy, that's 1 more that you're going to need to neuter. Boys, and 8 of them are girls. That's 8 boys that you need to neuter in order to stop this mess. 8 neuters at, like, wherever you live, it's different for price, but, like, if you're lucky, you can find one that'll do it for, like, 100 to 150. I mean, most places are more than that. You could have just done the 1 boy. It's going to cost you 8 times as much money for the neutering to stop this mess that's getting out of control. You got 16 mouths to feed now instead of 2. You're going to need a lot bigger cage. You're going to need multiple cages. It's going to cost you more money for that. It's going to take up a lot of room, a lot of time cleaning. Need more toys. Your 2 adorable pets just became an extremely bigger chore than it needed to be, and expensive. So you didn't really save yourself the price of that neuter. You just cost yourself a lot more money. And this isn't even including the fact that it's so much more dangerous for the gliders, because you got to think, all of these gliders, the first 2 possibly are related. If you don't have their family history, you got to be able to trace their lineage. If you don't have that, then you can't say that they're not related. I don't care if mom was from Georgia and dad was from Texas. That doesn't mean that grandma or great-grandma or whatever didn't come from the same breeder in Ohio. I mean, they could still be second cousins or third cousins or something, and they could be inbreeding. And even if they weren't, which you have no way of knowing, but even if they weren't, all of the ones that have come about since then definitely are inbred. You know, the Joeys, you know, the first set of Joeys, and then the second set of Joeys, the third set of Joeys that came about, I mean, they're all in the same cage as mom and dad and brother and sister. I mean, they're definitely inbreeding. They're going to get sick. Just because they look healthy and act healthy when they're born does not mean that there isn't something wrong with them inside because they're inbred. Now, what could have been 2 healthy pets for the next 10, 15 years of your life are now 16 gliders, possibly more, if you can't afford to get 8 of them neutered, which you better. You should already have been not letting it got that far. All these ones, if you had let it got to this far, they may look and seem healthy now. When they turn 3 years old or 5 years old, that's when they're going to start getting sick, or even die. If you're thinking about, okay, well, I'll just sell them, that's unethical. Because here you are selling a glider that you do not know if it's hiding a disease. Gliders are small. They hide their disease so that because if they show that they're sick, then that shows predators that they are weak and easy to, attack. So gliders really show, they hide that when they're sick. So if they're sick because they're inbred, you're not going to know it. And so, you sell them, and that new owner is going to be buying a sick glider from you. You're not going to know they're sick. The new owner's not going to know they're sick. But you know what? That glider is going to end up needing vet care or going to die. And that was unethical of you to sell them a sick glider when, okay, maybe you didn't know that they were sick because they were hiding it. Well, you know what? You should have known, because you did know that you put that glider in a cage with unneutered males. Or it was Joey that resulted from gliders that were not lineaged, that were together unneutered. I mean, that's the backyard breeders that give the bad name. And that's what the good breeders are trying to fight against. Got to get them neutered. People get their hands full and they don't have the money to get 8 boys neutered, and they don't have the money to feed 16 mouths and buy more cages and toys and stuff. So you know what they do? Surrender them to an exotic rescue or something. I've talked with exotic rescues, and the one here in Hudson, Florida, had so many, like 60 gliders within like 30 days were surrendered to him. He had no room left for them and couldn't get them neutered fast enough. He was talking to like some animal sanctuary in Daytona, and they were trying to work